So, welcome back to the COVID-19 interview project. My name is Jenny Mills, and I am doing this project because I would really like to get an understanding of what is happening with our K-12 teachers and students during the world pandemic that we're going through right now. So, today I have an elementary school teacher, and I'll allow her to introduce herself. Go ahead, Patty.
Hi, my name is Patty. I'm a first grade teacher and I work in northern New Jersey in a suburban school.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. And how long have you been teaching, Patty?
I've been teaching for, I believe this is my 15th year. So I've taught kindergarten, first and second grade.
So first time teaching in a pandemic?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me go back to when this whole thing first started. So what were your initial thoughts back in March when you heard that school was closing?
So originally, we were all concerned about the, coronavirus, unsure of like where it was going, how hard it was going to hit this area or in the States. So there was some concerns. You were hearing people, worried about traveling. Their children were coming back from studying abroad. So there was some concerns, but I really believed it was only going to be 2 weeks. So there was a sense of this is not going to be a big deal. They're closing schools for 2 weeks. Let's just take a few things home and, we'll be back. So it was surprising that it went a little longer.
Yeah, so now as we're entering, what is it, week 5 or week 6? I can't even keep count anymore of what's been happening. How does it feel now that, they haven't closed schools in New Jersey for the rest of the year yet, although they have in Pennsylvania. So how does it feel now as we move this further into the pandemic?
So I think the way that we originally looked at it for the first 2 weeks, it was like easier just to say, let's send the kids home with something. So like the way we rolled it out was, we wanted to be calm. We still had the students with us that Friday. So we rolled it out with sending some books home, and then we sent some paperwork, and then it was more like review. But once we knew after that 2 weeks that there was going to be another month, we really had to collaborate amongst our teams and conquer and like divide really with each other. And we divided up subject areas that people felt comfortable with, and we do it week by week. And we're trying to now roll out new instructions. So I think that really the best way that I would say that it's been working out is really just collaborating with administration, curriculum coordinators, and my team.
Okay. So you've completely like overnight had to change everything about the way that you teach after 15 years. So, I can't imagine what that was like to sort of go from, doing your day-to-day normal stuff to like, okay, now we're shifting everything. So, how much time are you spending preparing for your lessons?
Again, we're usually thinking like a week ahead. So, this week you were saying, what week is it? It's week 5 for us. So right now we're rolling out 6 and 7, and just kind of thinking about ways that we need to, introduce it. And so some teachers are pre-taping themselves and we're modeling it. We've been going live with Zooms. We've done whole group, but I would say whole group is more really like just a time for the students to see each other and share like show and tell, or share what they did over the weekend or something fun that they did that day. So that type of connection is just allowing the students to see each other. And then today I explored for the first time, I did small group instruction with a group of 4 just to talk about writing. So I think we're all starting to dabble in things that we're comfortable with, and just doing the best that we can through either live teaching or through videos where you're recording.
So would you say that the time that you spend prepping has like doubled from what you normally were doing? Like, I can't imagine how many hours you guys are spending prepping.
Yeah, it's a lot of prep work. I would say, teaching for 15 years, you get really good at what you do. And, I would typically just have lesson plans and then photocopy things, and you just kind of were on autopilot. Here, I kind of feel like we're not necessarily reinventing the wheel, but you want to be able to say, if I give this lesson, will the parents understand it? because you have to be mindful of that because you have parents that are working. And then you want to say, if I sent this lesson, can the parents kind of turnkey it, and then will the children be able to practice it? So those are like the things that you're constantly rethinking about before you upload that lesson.
Mm-hmm. So did you have to learn a lot of new tools and techniques? Like, did you have to learn a bunch of new platforms just to be able to do this?
Yeah, so after we realized it wasn't going to be for 2 weeks, we really were fortunate that the district offered a full day PD. So we learned how to do Zooms. I didn't even know how to do a Zoom. We video. I learned how to, I learned what photo booth was. You have all this technology, but you didn't really actually put it in place. So everyone was kind of had a sampling and like a buffet, and you could pick and choose what you thought you could utilize. So it is a K-8 district. So, I believe, we had Class Dojo was something that the younger grades were using, and then the older grades were using Google Classroom. So they provided really expertise of even staff members and just administration on how to roll out some new technology that would help with our teaching.
That's awesome. So one of my questions was about how is the administration supporting you guys? I know some districts are saying we're not observing teachers right now, right? We're just going to kind of move along and support you guys, give you whatever you need regarding professional development, check in on your mental health and things like that. So how is your administration supporting you?
I would say that really it's been above and beyond. We have check-ins with our grade level twice a week, like that. I'm a grade chair, so my team wants to meet twice a week on Zooms. My principal, I'm a grade chair. She meets with the leadership team each week, and then actually our superintendent holds a weekly topic, and it's you can optional, you don't have to go, but I have found going to them is just really beneficial. It helps like ease some of the anxiety, or just hearing it and having a conversation and seeing people. It has been very helpful.
That's great. So you're really fortunate, because I've been talking to a lot of teachers and a lot of different, districts, and a lot of teachers don't have that kind of support. So that's really awesome that they're stepping up and providing all of those, touch points for all of you guys. It is a really stressful time. I mean, we're in the middle of a crisis. And I talk about this all the time with people that, not only are teachers asked to sort of, build the plane while they're flying it, like we said, but we're also in the middle of a crisis. Teachers know people who are sick or who are dying from this illness. So, we really have to keep this all in perspective. So along the same question of support, how are you supporting yourself? Are there things that you're doing just to keep yourself, mentally and emotionally and physically healthy and sane during this time?
Yeah, I try and get out in the morning and exercise, because that's like something I did always before I went to work. And then I really have to say, the building on the relationships with my colleagues, and touching in with administration if I need it, has really helped get through it. I think there are some concerns of other people doing a little bit more because they're comfortable with it, but I think that there's been we've been reassured, like, everyone just do the best that you can. I did phone conferences last week with my families because I thought that was important. I wanted to hear, like, is the work that we're giving you doable? How can we be more flexible? How can we organize it? Talk to me, give me feedback. So from their feedback, I felt like that will help build my lessons for the next couple of weeks.
That's great, because I have friends who are sort of calling me and being like, I don't know how to do this, or what can I do to help my student or my child, specifically around challenges with having, ADHD or other learning challenges. They're curious about, how can I modify this? As parents, they're kind of left to do that on their own, which is tricky. So what does your typical day look like? Do you have children that you're also working with to teach, or what does your typical day look like?
So my typical day is more of, I'm single, so I don't have, the husbands, the children, or the dogs or whatnot. So I typically, like I said, usually get up in the morning. I send out the schedule to the families. So we do daily lesson plans. And then I'm basically available for, to answer questions. Sometimes there's even glitches with the Google Docs, so you have to give them access codes, and then yeah. So and then basically like last week was a lot of phone conferences, and then this week has been some Zooms. So basically, if I'm not doing that, then there are some, because I'm on the grade chair, I'm answering questions for my grade level, having meetings with my principal. So it's kind of like you're balancing, so today, for example, I did a whole group Zoom and then a small group Zoom, and, and then just kind of planning for the rest of the week.
So basically you're teaching from like 8 to 2 or 3, and then you're taking a break, having some dinner, and planning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because then, feedback is important from the parents. And if there's something that we rolled out that they didn't really understand, then I'm calling a colleague and saying, how can we reword this so that, one first grade parent asked it, but then we don't want the rest of them to ask it.
You guys are seriously so amazing. I cannot even imagine what you are taking on at this time. Like you guys are so dedicated. You're going above and beyond to provide the same curriculum and the same content to these kids. I mean, between the Zooms, the small groups, the large groups, the calling home, I mean, really, these kids are so lucky to have you guys. Do you have any advice for teachers who are struggling to kind of balance all of this learning curve of their own with the Zooms and the different things that they're now taking on, along with balancing out taking care of themselves while in this new world of teaching?
Yeah, I think I kind of thought about that. And the big thing I would say is keep everything into perspective. And that, I really have to say, you need to lean on your teams. You need to lean and collaborate. And we can't all do it. And I don't think that's even an expectation. I think really is, you got to take it. I think the best way that we're doing it is taking it week by week. And sometimes it's day by day. And I just think that because of the people I work with and, my team and, friends and the administration, we really have been able to roll this out. And I think that feedback was important. And, kind of just saying to the parents too, like, we're all navigating this through eyes. None of us have ever done this. So this is all brand new to all of us. So it's one day at a time.
Yeah. So just stay like present, try not to get too ahead of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I just think that, again, we've never done this. So you're just navigating this for the first time. And it's a journey for everyone. And I think the most important thing is, the kids are happy, they're safe, they see us, and we are reassuring the parents that they're going to be okay and that they're learning and we're providing options. And if it's going to take 2 hours or you need to do it over the weekend, everyone just do the best that you can.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you think are the biggest challenges, or what are your concerns? Are you concerned about school being canceled for the rest of the year and these kids then moving on to the next grade level without coming back together as a class and seeing you? Like, what are your biggest concerns here?
I think my biggest concern is that I would like them to have closure. And, it's so cute. Like the first time we did the Zoom, like I looked at it like, oh my God, it was like, I didn't know how to mute them and everyone was saying hello. And when I spoke to the parents for the first time last week, they were like, no, it was so cute to hear them. I'm like, no, I know. And, and they kept saying, you're so patient. And, and it was really just cute just to see that, like, the community that you don't sometimes realize you've created. And then when you're taken out of it and then you see it in this type of lens, you're like, wait, we are a team. And so, they really just want to see each other and chat. And, it's cute. You unmute them and someone's like, oh, I got you this football card that I wanted to show you because I know you like football. Like they know things about each other because that's, as the facilitator in the room, I've created that all year. And so that I hope, if we could go back, and end it with them saying goodbye to each other and, wishing them well. And, as for next year, they're going to be fine. I really believe it. We are rolling out new curriculum. We are modeling it. We are conferring with them. We're providing them tools for reading. We're providing them opportunities for all curricular areas that I really don't think, they'll be behind, because I think that between the teamwork of the parents and the teachers and the students' efforts, they will do fine.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, my 3-year-old gets on the Zoom with his friends and his teacher, and it makes me want to cry just watching them. Like, here's my little 3-year-old. He's like half naked in the Zoom thing, and he's like pointing to his friends and, saying hi to them. And I like breaks my heart to see them all like that, because it makes me sad to think that they may not have that opportunity to come back together. I hope that they do, but it's just, everything is just so up in the air right now. So, yeah, I mean, you guys are, if I haven't said it before, you are just amazing and doing such a good job of taking care of the kids, not just teaching them what they need to know academically, but making sure that they're taken care of and making sure that the parents aren't feeling like they're flailing and not sure what to do or how to do it. So, thank you so much for your dedication and for your endless hours that you spend in front of the computer right now. I mean, it's really not a small thing. So thank you so much for participating in the project. I know a lot of teachers will be excited to hear this, and also parents, because I don't think that a lot of people understand what goes on behind the scenes. So I appreciate you being with us, Patty.
Thank you, Jenny. This was
Okay, great. Take care.
Bye-bye.